like to say congratulations to the Chief for winning the AIWF World title last night. Winning that title does nothing more but prove that you are the top dog, you are the best of the best that the AIWF has to offer. And I know that you know that as a world champion, everybody's going to be gunning for you. That being said, I'm no different. In 2 weeks' time, you fly into Tallahassee, Florida for Guild Wrestling's Immortals. Now, I was preparing for a North American title shot. In fact, that I got to prepare for a world title shot does nothing more but amplify my adrenaline and make me work that much harder. So I need you to know one thing. Last week, doctors cleared my leg and said that I can go back to the gym and work on it 110%. And that's exactly what I'm going to do, because that's exactly what I expect you to do. I expect you to come at me with everything you got and nothing less. I have every intention of taking that title off of your shoulder. And let me promise you this. You come into Tallahassee, you take this as a joke, you're walking away without a title. You and I have been dealing with this for months. It has been brewing for months. Everybody knows Guild Wrestling is the place to be in Florida. And I promise you this, at our night, when we get in that ring, I will come at you with everything I have. And sir, I expect you to come at me with nothing less. So I'll see you in 2 weeks at Fairview Middle School in Tallahassee, Florida. You better come at me with all you got, because you're messing with a live wire. You're messing with 1/3 of Team PYB. So I'll see you, Chief. I'll see you in 2 weeks, and you better come prepared.
Little Stormy G, you have got to be elated right now, because you are one of the luckiest punks in the world. You know, I don't know how you ever made it into the top 10 of the AIWF North American title rankings, but you did. And on October 28th, you were set to face me for my AIWF North American heavyweight title. And then what happens? You get lucky. Because 2 weeks before I was set to face you, I won the AIWF World Heavyweight title. And lo and behold, the AIWF in their infinite wisdom decided to make all of my North American title matches world title matches. So deserving or not, you get a shot at this. Take a look at it, boy, because that's the closest you're ever going to get to it. This is the AIWF World Heavyweight title, and that means that I am the best, the top of the food chain. I am the T-Rex of the AIWF. And then I see your little video you cut the day after I won my title, talking about how I better not overlook you, I better be prepared, and I better not think this is a joke. Well, you know what? I beat a great wrestler, a tough man, Lewis Moore, to win this. I defended my North American title against Defula Dabashi out in Washington in a brutal match. We both lost buckets of blood. Well, you know what, Stormy G? You're no Defula Dabashi. You're no Lewis Moore. And right now, I'm on a roll. So what do you think you're going to do to me October 28th? Do you think I'm going to walk in there, my first title defense, and just drop this to you, just hand this over to you? Like I said, I'm on a roll. And on October 28th, I'm going to steamroll right over you, boy!
Good evening, Gulf Coast independent wrestling fans. Welcome once again to another fantabulous edition of the Front Row Fanatics, featuring me, the beer-swilling, mask-wearing Gargoyle, and my tag team partner, the most interesting man in the world, Cheech. That's right, baby. And this is not like a normal Front Row show, because tonight we're not doing a review. This is more or less a hype show, a promo show. And tonight we're going to be talking about Guild Wrestling's upcoming show on October 28th in Tallahassee, Florida at the Fairview Middle School, called Immortals. Showtime will be 4 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. You know, those of us who will travel from over here from Central Daytime will lose an hour, gain it on the way home and all that other stuff. But we're going to talk about the Immortal show and what's going on over there at Guild Wrestling. So with that being said, I'm going to tag into my tag team partner, the brains of the operation, and we're going to roll on and let's get the show on the road.
That's right. It's October 28th. That is on a Sunday. And the doors open at 3 and the bell time is 4? Or
yeah, that is correct.
Okay, so doors open at 3. Get there early. Show starts at 4. And if you haven't been to Guild Wrestling, you really need to make the trip because it's awesome. But basically, they've got a star-studded card full of gold. Every belt's on the line. It's calling it Immortals, and basically what we've got going on here is we've got a new general manager. His name is Lou Reardon. And, as he announced the next event being October 28th, Immortal, he explained that it's going to be a show compiling of a Night of Champions type show, kind of similar to the WWE.
Where we don't acknowledge him.
Yeah.
Vinny McAsshole show.
That's right. But every match will either be for a title or actually for a title shot. So it's going to be definitely an awesome lineup. You've got AIWF North American Champion Chief, but he's actually the...
now the heavyweight champion.
Yeah, the AIWF World Champion. So, so it's actually changed here, which is good for Storm,
right?
Who he's going up against. But going to, which I'll go ahead and allude right to that right now. That at a show in Spencer, Virginia, the AIWF North American Champion officially become the AIWF World Champion by defeating Lewis Moore, and who is. Say it. I can't even say the guy's name.
Chief Atakulla. And if I got it wrong, Chief, it's no disrespect because I'm swilling beer. So, but I believe it's Chief Atakulla is now the AIWF World Heavyweight Champion, who will be doing battle against the newly nicknamed Livewire Storm Goodland.
Yep, Livewire Storm Goodland, rather. Sorry, but I'm going to read you. Basically an excerpt from their website here that goes basically the AIWF offices have contacted General Manager Lou Reardon, who had to basically, while sitting at home, received a call from the offices of AIWF in North Carolina. They told him that due to the Chief holding both titles, he would have to choose which title Storm would be challenging for at this event. So after General Manager Lou contacting Storm, explaining to him the pros and cons of each of the opportunities he had before him, he decided that it would be in the best interest for Guild Wrestling and for the fans to bring the world title to Tallahassee. So while he knows that Storm has the heart of a champion, the stakes have definitely been raised on how the home office will view the competition of Guild after this match. So he offered Storm full support and in hopes that he can defeat the Chief and keep the world title in Florida. But he knows that the Chief has earned the right to be called the champion, according to Lou. But I'm hoping that Storm definitely does get this belt. That would be really cool for us over here in the Panhandle to get a piece of the AIWF title.
And for those of you who don't know, the AIWF is Allied Independent Wrestling Federation. It comprises, excuse me, I'm the beer swilling, mask wearing buffoon. It's comprised of, I'm going to give a rough estimate here because I'm not sure. You can check out the AIWF Facebook page and website to verify this information I'm going to pass on. I'm going to say it encompasses roughly 25 states and a few foreign countries of, like they said, they're the Allied Independent Wrestling Federation trying to form a good solid group to produce a lot of talent and become another territory, to become, maybe move up to be another player in the game to challenge, say, ROH or TNA or somebody, you know, step up and raise the stakes a bit. So definitely check out the AIWF's Facebook page, check out their websites, you know, also AIWF Florida.
Yeah, they are constantly growing, and the good thing about this as a promotion, they don't have any fees. You know, like the NWA, which, you know, been around for a long time, they have fees and so on that you've got to pay and pay your dues. But the AIWF actually doesn't have anything where it costs money. They, you know, have a few guidelines. I don't know what they are exactly, but it's not monetarily. So it's really good. And I think Guild is the only promotion within our reach that is on AIWF.
I believe there are two in South Florida that are also members of the AIWF. I believe one of them was DWI, and which is Definitive Wrestling International. I'm not sure, you know, I've been swilling some beer. And another promotion whose name escapes me at this juncture in time. Once again, no disrespect, I'm swilling beer. It's Friday night, me and my tag team partners having some fun. So, but, you know, I believe there's only at this juncture in time 3 members of the Florida AIWF that are, you know, members to the home parent company. But, you know, it's a step in the right direction. They're trying to establish a territory and get a large group of promotions in various states to work together to rotate talent and better the independent wrestling scene. So, you know, good opportunities here. You know,
yeah,
I'm excited.
Absolutely. What we're going to do is I'm going to go over some of the card. Of course, card subject to change. There is some things that they're holding back for obvious reasons. Got to show up to see what's going on. But they do have the tag belts on the line. Arrogant Americans who lost them at the last event.
With a substitute partner.
Yeah, exactly. They were robbed pretty much. You know, general manager Lou Reardon throwing his weight around there, which he's gonna pay for that. So
absolutely, you know, and I don't mind a general manager making, you know, some command decisions because that's what he's supposed to do. But I'll say once again, as I said before when we reviewed the last show, it's not fair to the tag team champions to make their titles be defended with a substitute partner due to the fact that AJ Strokes was not there to tag with Big Mike Faison, and Mays, who is a quality guy, was thrust into the role of being, you know, Big Mike's tag team partner.
Unfair advantage.
Right, unfair advantage for you know, for the other team, the PS players. I believe is their name, which is Morgan Davis III and Wild Child Joey Kidman, who got the Duke at the last Guild show to become the Guild Tag Team Champions. This time it will be the official team of the Arrogant Americans, AJ and Big Mike, and I can assure you they are seething, fuming, angry. They are looking for some payback, revenge, and they want their titles back.
Yeah, Big Mike is exactly that. Big Mike, he's angry. He don't play around in the ring. And you know, Wild Child Joey Kidman and Morgan Davis, they definitely are going to have their hands full with this rematch. So this ought to be a pretty interesting match too. And you've also got Francisco Ciazzo, the King of Florida, going up against Biff Slater for the actual Vintage Heavyweight Championship belt as well. Which, you know, this is going to be another great match here. Hopefully we'll hopefully that, you know, these guys actually worked on the on Vintage together too as well. So if Biff does get the Duke over the King, then this belt would be carried on. This feud would actually lead there too.
Right,
so
back down to Sanford where Vintage is located. And what I like about this is it shows some inter-promotional cooperation. And I've observed Biff Slater and the King, Francisco Ciazzo, down in South Florida at various promotions. Have not made a Vintage show yet, but I've seen them in other promotions. Biff Slater is a big man.
Yes,
I mean, he's a big man. He's had WWE developmental tryouts. The King, what can you say? He travels all over the place. He wrestles in Puerto Rico, the Bahamas, all over the state of Florida, New York, you name it. You know, his resume speaks for itself. So this ought to be a quality, intense, physical match that I'm really, really looking forward to, especially if you fans check out Wrestling 911 and check out what's going on with Vintage and their website also, especially with the developments of former friends and allies now turned enemies. Biff Slater, you know, turning on Francisco Ciazzo and Simon Says. They all used to be allies, and now there's another faction forming in Vintage.
Yeah, there's quite a feud going on there.
You know, so lots of intermingling angles and plots and storylines going on here. You know, Guild is working with Vintage and stuff, and I applaud them. That's good because you're only going to make the show more interesting. You're bringing in more talent from different areas of the state, and it's great. These two guys, I believe, are going to deliver a stellar match.
Absolutely, and Biff, was a regular on ASW when they were running, wasn't he?
Absolutely, absolutely.
I think that's where I've seen the majority of the matches I've seen on YouTube was from the ASW when they were running at that bar there. But
Strokers in Tampa.
Can't wait to see this. This is going to be a really good match too. And of course, you've got the Livewire Storm Goodland going up against the Chief Atakula. I can't really say that too well.
Atakula.
Yeah, Atakula.
Takes a drunk to say the name.
Who was originally booked for the AIWF North American title, which now is obviously the AIWF World title that's going to be going up. So Storm gets a shot at that title. And like I said before, hopefully he will get the win over him and bring that title here to Florida. It would be awesome.
Now, I myself have a varying opinion than my tag team partner. I want to see the Chief put the beat down on the live wire, man. You know, he's been getting a little bit cocky there and, you know, aligning himself in the corner of General Manager Lou to get that little extra stroke and favoritism going on. And, you know, I'm not into that. You know,
I would think differently because he kind of reminds me of the FSU.
I hear you. I hear you. They all got that little kind of funny thing. What's that unconquered statue they got? I think they've been conquered quite a bit recently. But we're not talking college. We're not talking college football. We're talking wrestling. I myself am predicting that Chief Atakula is going to beat Livewire Storm Goodland's brains in, man.
Awesome.
I just see it happening, you know. And it's nothing personal against Storm. I like the guy. Genuinely, he's a nice guy. He's, you know, he does a lot of good charitable work. He's quick, athletic, but, you know, he's facing a veteran and a guy who's been around and travels a lot more than Livewire Storm Goodland himself does. Mm-hmm. So, you know, when you've got that experienced veteran who's used to being on the road, sleeping in motels, getting up, feeling crappy, you know, I believe that plays into his advantage. But then on the other hand, you know, Storm's in his hometown. He'll have the hometown crowd behind him. Mm-hmm. And, you know, he's got the big opportunity to win the AIWF World title, you know, which would be significant, mm-hmm. you know, and a big notch in his belt and something to add to his career resume. So, you know, I believe it's going to be an interesting match.
Yeah, I can't wait for it, folks. You need to make it. You need to show up. Check this out. Also on the card, you've got the Real Deal Jake Slater versus versus Doug Pitt, and this is actually a #1 contenders match, which I'm going to assume probably for the Guild Heavyweight title. Again, show up and we'll find out what this contendership's all about here with the Real Deal Jake Slater versus Doug Pitt. Haven't seen Doug Pitt recently, so it'll be good seeing him in the ring again too, especially going up against Jake Slater.
Right.
This ought to be a real good pound and ground match, you know. So.
Absolutely. Doug has been more in a managerial status of late, mm-hmm. and he suffered an injury and has been slowly working his way back into wrestling shape and stuff. You know, this is a #1 contenders match for an unspecified title yet. We don't know. Like Cheech said, we're assuming it's for the Guild title, but you know, like you said, show up, be there. You know, Doug Pitt, you know, has plenty of talent, plenty of ability. Jake Slater, he's a grizzled veteran. You'll see him all over Georgia, Alabama, all over Florida. We've seen him, you know.
Jacksonville.
Yeah, you name it. Jake Slater is a wrestler. He goes around and he wrestles. He's not a guy that plays in the backyard or whatever. He wrestles and he gets around and he, you know, so... Mm-hmm. Despite the harassment that I like to give him, I have a lot of respect for Jake Slater, you know, and this will be an interesting match too because, you know, Doug coming off the injury and slowly working himself back into wrestling condition, whereas Jake's got a steady, full schedule of tough competition, you know, every weekend. Mm-hmm. So once again, you know, Guild's pulling out all the stops to give you a quality show, so, you know, I'm excited.
Mm-hmm. Also going to be a special appearance by Sick Boy, who's former WCW superstar and also a former member of Raven's Flock, which I don't know exactly what's going to happen here. This is probably another one of, you know, General Manager Lou's schemes to take somebody out, maybe take a belt from somebody, or you know,
or maybe he's bringing him in to bring a little more new additional star power to help elevate Guild. So look, we can bring some of these guys, you know. Sick Boy, the last time I saw him, you know, was, you know, always in excellent physical condition, kind of a crazy dude. You got to be crazy to hang out with Ravens. So, but you know, he's there with an unspecified agenda. So, you know, once again, we urge fans, show up. See why Sick Boy is there, because he's just not going to pop out of the woodwork for any reason.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what's up their sleeve for that. So, you know, there's no telling. There ain't no telling what he's going to be gunning after, who he's going to be gunning after.
And he's always been, you know, as a member of Ravens flock too, he's not afraid to go hardcore, get bloody, nasty, dirty, mean, and bring out the violence. So,
ain't call him Sick Boy for nothing.
Absolutely, you know, and you're called Sick Boy and you're hanging with Raven, there's a reason for that. So I would feel a little, I don't necessarily want to use sympathy, but I'd be leery if I was his opponent on the card, if I went in the back of the locker room and saw that I was booked to wrestle him. So
absolutely. Of course, another roster member that's on the card is none other than Corey Chavis, one half of the Dark City Fight Club. Going to be, and he's actually the AIWF Florida title Guild Heavyweight Champion. Don't know who he's going up yet, but that's another one to show up and find out. But whoever he goes up against, you know, this is one that every time I've seen him in the ring, you know, he's give it 100%, put on one hell of a show, and I feel sorry for whoever's going to be going up against him. That's all I know.
A consummate professional is Corey Chavis. You know, he's still one half of the NWA World Tag Team Champions, the Dark City Fight Club, with his partner John Chavis. I mean, we've seen him at various shows. You know, he's been there and done that. You know, like I said, once again, his resume speaks for itself. I enjoy watching Corey work in the ring, and I'm excited to see that he's going to be defending that belt, I'm assuming, you know. And it'd be interesting to see who Guild has lined up for an opponent for him. So, you know, once again, Guild is showing that they are trying to step their game up to another level to bring quality wrestling to Tallahassee and North Florida. You know, once again, and I've said this before in various posts on Facebook or Wrestling 911, I truly encourage Gulf Coast wrestling fans, get together, make a caravan, step outside the box of the same old stuff that you see all the time, travel a little bit. If you get a good enough group together, you can afford the gas to ride over to Tallahassee and back and see some high quality talent that's going to be on this card.
Absolutely.
And once again, this is not a knock on our local promotions, but when you go see the same guys that you've seen, you know, for a long extended period of time, as, you know, Cheech and I and Pain Lord and some other fans, you know, a fresh change of pace is great. You know,
spice it up a little bit.
That's right. You know, it's like going to the buffet. You're tired of eating the same thing. You go and you change it up. You know, Chinese buffet, you go to a Mexican buffet or whatever. You know, there's a lot of talent on this card that Guild is bringing in, and I highly recommend it. I hope some Gulf Coast area fans make that trip. Get together, you know, plan it out. Come out. You've got 2 weeks or roughly, you know, 10 days or whatever to make your plans, get together, show up at the Fairview Middle School there in Tallahassee and see some quality wrestling.
That's right. This is October 28th on a Sunday, a midday show, so it's not like you're, you know, even if you're leaving from here, it's not like you're going to get home real late, so it's not a bad drive. Another thing too is, you know, go to Facebook and like Guild Wrestling on Facebook, and ask them when they're going to come to Pensacola, because would love for you to travel over there and check them out as well, but we would really love to have this type of promotion, quality roster over here in Pensacola as well, to mingle it in with some of our favorite Gulf Coast stars as well. I think it would really liven up this area a little bit and give us something to really enjoy here locally. But also is Pump Your Brakes, Steve Goings.
Mr. TYB.
Not sure who he's going to be facing either, but he, you know, he had the Guild Heavyweight title belt, so he may be a contender for going up against Corey Chavis.
Or is that the North Florida Heritage belt? And whatever it was the belt that he ripped off from Simon Says with the help of Cheesy Sleazy, general manager.
That's right. That's right. It is two different belts. That's right. So But I don't know who he's going up yet. You know, I think what they're trying to do is keep a little bit of suspense on this card because it is so much gold on the line. You know, a stat card. Everybody gets a title shot. Everybody's getting a contendership, you know, for a title. Just a lot going on. But we do have a little request for Guild.
Absolutely, absolutely. We have, you know, as the Front Row Fanatics, you know, myself, Cheech, Pain Lord, and some of our other friends, we travel around a lot. We got a request. We'd like to see a few individuals added to the Guild roster, maybe to the next show. Starting out with the Perfect 10, Lindsay Dorado, a high quality guy that's been, you know, he's been in Chikara wrestling and all over the place. Up and down the state of Florida, all over the country. The guy is phenomenal. Bring him to the show. Once again, you know, then I'd like to add Henry Maxwell Chicago, a guy who got his start in the GAWF, you know, running there for a while, working with Mr. PYB and Storm over there in the GAWF, moved to South and Central Florida and has improved drastically. And through the grapevine, he'd like to come up and get in on some Guild action, you know. And then the crazy man, the king of the underground, Dallas Riley, baby, he wants to get in on some Guild action. Another guy who formerly was on the Guild roster. So, as fans, paying fans, we're asking Guild management, add these guys to the show. Book them. Show you got what it takes to continually improve the card and make Guild that much, you know, a notch above.
Absolutely. They can only enhance the roster, the show, the event. It's not going to do them any wrong, you know, especially, you know, like Lindsay Dorado. This guy adds flavor to any show, and you can tell that he's been up and down the road when you watch him work. It's an exciting match.
And you can tell that he's worked with consummate professionals over the years, too, you know. I'm right now in the midst of this big Chikara DVD fest that I got from my good buddy James Richards down there in Central Florida, you know, with the BDK angle, where Lynch turned that heel, you know. Dude is phenomenal. He's got talent. Dallas Riley, love the dude, man. He's crazy. He's wild. You never know what you're going to get. Henry Maxwell Chicago, a guy who's developed from the first few times I saw him in action. I was like, what is this guy doing in the ring? But he's been steadily wrestling more top-notch quality opponents down in Central Florida. He's been to Puerto Rico and everything. You know, bring these guys to the show, man. As fans, we're telling you what you want. You know, unlike other people that might lack the yabos to say, hey, we want to see these guys. Well, the Front Row Fanatics, we got plenty of yabos. We want to see these guys on the card.
Absolutely. Now, I did get word from Guild management, from the head office, that there are some matches that just are not announced. You have to show up to see these matches. We don't even know what they are. We do know that they're going to be top quality matches, so you definitely want to be there to see them. This is October 28th, Sunday in Tallahassee, Florida at the Fairview Middle School Gymnasium. It is pretty easy to find. It is on MapQuest. It is on your GPS. Also, I would like to mention, we've met, you know, from traveling around a little bit, we've met a handful of people in like the Jacksonville area. Guys, Tallahassee's not that far from Jacksonville either. Right. Make the run, come over, sit in the front row with us. Let's have a little get together, watch some wrestling.
Yeah, Russ.
Come check it out. Yeah, it's not that far from there. You know, we've driven through Tallahassee, go to Jacksonville from here in the Pensacola area. Come enjoy what we've got over here in Tallahassee.
That's right. Make the road trip a little bit over here, you know, and join us and give Guild some support and some love. So.
Yeah, you won't be disappointed. I can promise you that.
Absolutely not.
So, you got anything more you want to talk about in this?
I do want to say, as you see, I'm sporting my own new Front Row Fanatics shirt. You know, we have a small limited quantity. They're all sized extra large, $20 a piece. I'll be bringing them to the Guild show. If you'd like to purchase one, get up with me. You know, 20 bucks a piece. Sorry, I'm not as big as my good buddy Pain Lord and Lords of Pain, to where he can order, you know, a gajillion shirts and give them out for free and all that stuff. This is coming out of my pocket. Just trying to get a little free advertisement for Front Row Fanatics. Give us some love. Buy a t-shirt, you know. Come out and support local indie wrestling. Support us. Buy a shirt.
That's right. Message us on Facebook if you want us to bring you one to a show. let us know or ask us at a show. Just support us so that we can keep supporting independent wrestling. That's what we love to do.
Absolutely, and if this first order goes well, we'll be getting another order with more variety in the sizes. We're also looking at getting some other front row, Fanatic merchandise, to try and help, raise a little cake, to enable us to travel over and give better coverage to independent wrestling in Florida, in Georgia, in Alabama, in Mississippi, in Louisiana, wherever we can go, we're just two regular working stiffs. All our stuff comes out of our pocket. We love wrestling. We want to show the guys the support that we can. Help us a little bit. Help us a little bit. Like our Facebook page, Front Row Fanatics. Like the Front Row Studios. GulfCoastWrestling.com. Like that. Like Wrestling911. There's a gazillion things,
LordsOfPain.net.
That's right, So come on out, show us some love, show Guild Wrestling some love, and support independent wrestling.
Absolutely. You won't be disappointed, especially for this show. And you want information, those are the websites to go to. The Facebook pages. Wrestling911.com has got more information than most any other sites I've ever seen, as far as for other states even,
right.
Or, in this area. You can't go wrong for checking out Wrestling 911. You can get the information without having a username. You just can't post without making a username. So if you don't want to make a username, just at least go there and get the information and support Wrestling 911. They do a lot for, they do more than we do for independent wrestling.
Absolutely.
They do a lot.
Not to mention the big snowman Jones. He assists us and helps us with our website and stuff, Want to give a shout out to him, Sign up, get you an account, talk some smack on the forums there, Check out our Facebook pages too. The information is there. All you got to do is go look for it.
That's it. And what about the rumors about wrestling coming to Pensacola in about 4 months? What do you think that's all about?
I don't know. I have a few little theories I have in mind. There had been rumors a few months ago that Guild was possibly making, contemplating a move to Pensacola because Storm Goodland, he has some relatives here, Then we all know that Bobby Dahl running Planet Wrestling in Loxley, Alabama, has good ties to Pensacola where he used to run the PWA, plus he was heavily involved with Ultimate Wrestling before they folded under, Then you've also got Sika, the Wild Samoan of WWE fame, who's ran promotions off and on, so you don't know. I'm curious to see what's going on, and hopefully we'll get some quality wrestling coming to Pensacola.
Yeah, I can't wait. Can't wait. Well, time will tell, and hopefully it's not somebody that's going to be doing it without any kind of backup cash.
I hear you. Don't want to see another backyard garbage, crap-ass show. If you're going to do it, they said within 4 months. 4 months is an adequate amount of time to plan for your first show. And whoever it is, I wish them success and good luck. And hopefully they bring talent and good wrestling back to Pensacola, Florida.
Yep, I agree. So folks, October 28th, Sunday, Tallahassee, Florida, at the Fairview Middle School Gymnasium. Come check it out. Got the stack card. Lots of special appearance by Sick Boy, former WCW. Lots of matches that they're not sharing with us because they are that good, and come enjoy us, or come enjoy the show and join us in the front row.
That's right. Make the road trip. It's well worth it. Get out of, like Taco Bell says, think outside the box, leave the Gulf Coast and seeing the same stuff. Check out something else. Get you new, like I said, get you a fresh taste of a new sandwich or whatever. Come out, support Guild Wrestling. They are a non-profit show. All their money goes to charity too, so they'll be supporting a worthy cause at this juncture in time. I do not know what the particular charity that they're raising money for is, and I apologize for that. But, come out, check out Guild Wrestling, October 28th, Tallahassee, Florida, Fairview Middle School. Doors open at 3 o'clock. Eastern time. Show starts 4 o'clock Eastern time. We make the road trip. You'll be back home in time to go to bed and get up to work Monday morning. If my old drunken ass can do it, you can do it too. Get out there and give Guild some love.
That's right.
Anything else we need to add?
I think we got it covered.
All right. I guess with that being said, we'll see you in the front row.